Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Okay, today I am going to show you how to make a thestral to display out in your lawn. I first got this idea from epbot, epbot.com by a lady named Jen, who made one out of a horse from Home Depot. Jen of Cake Rex and epbot. She did a great job making this thestral for her Christmas party a while back. I didn't look at the date that she made it, but it was such an inspiration. I just had to do one myself. So I've been looking for a horse from Home Depot to go on sale, and I never get there on time, but I found one on Facebook Marketplace used. So I snagged that, and here we are starting on our thestral. I have not finished yet. This is part one, doing the body, and hopefully it'll let me add pictures of it to the beginning of this video after I post it. I don't know how YouTube works that way because I'm kind of new to this, but here's part one, and we're starting on the body. First off, I got some masking tape. Well, put together your horse, obviously, according to the directions. They just snap together. It's really easy. Then get your masking tape and start masking off the ribs. Now, before you get started on everything, I do want to point out that if you don't want it to look exactly like a thestral, you don't have to do all this. You can just spray paint it black and leave it a skeleton and basically just put wings on it. That would be the easy way. I'm kind of going in between. You can get way more detailed than I do, or you can get way less detailed than I do, depending on your liking and how much effort you want to put into it. This is not for the faint of heart. This was a lot of work, and it's not even full-on realistic thestral. But here we go. I've got the masking tape, and on the ribs, I am making sure that it kind of goes in, because you want to be able to see the ribs, because they are super skinny. Okay, they're not a skeleton, but they're super skinny, and you can practically see every bit of their skeleton. So we're making a skin that shows all these ribs and pushing it in. I didn't worry so much about showing all the ribs on the stomach and stuff, because you're really not going to see the stomach. But the part that people are going to really see is the side of the thestral, where the ribs are, and the thighs and whatnot. So really pushing it in and letting those grooves show up. Try as good as you can to not let it be too wrinkly, because the more wrinkly it is, the more you got to cover up later, the more you got to sand down later with the other things that you add on later. I mean, it's just try not to get it too wrinkly at the beginning. I wanted to give him a chest, and I just started taping over his chest when I realized how ridiculously flat it looked, and I just wanted to give it a little bit more depth. So here I am. You can see that it's just a hole there, and I'm just taping over it, and I realized, hey, that doesn't look so good. So fast forward. So here I am deciding, okay, what are we going to use? They had some cardboard that they had wrapped the legs around that was in the box of the horse. So I just grabbed some of that cardboard to give a little bit of a rounded chest, because the thestral still has muscles and stuff. He's skinny and skeletal, but it doesn't have a flat chest. I didn't do the same on the butt, and I should have. He should have had a more rounded butt, but here's the chest. I did a better job on that. It's just a roll of cardboard and taping it on, and as I tape it on, I try to round it out a bit by kind of pushing down and creasing it a little bit. It's really flexible, but it's still hard enough that you can put some stuff on it later. Honestly, it's a lot easier to put the paper mache clay that we'll be putting on top of this. It's way easier to put it on the parts that I did the cardboard for than it is if it was just taped over like I originally did on the chest with the tape going across. That's so flexible, and it's hard to get the paper mache clay paste stuff on it without it just moving around all the time. And I did not do cardboard on the stomach, and I really regret it. I wish I would have done cardboard across the stomach area instead of just taping across like I show you later, because doing the paper mache clay across that was a pain in the butt, and it's not dry at this point. I'll go out and see later, but I don't want it to be, flimsy and flexible. I want it to be like a hard structure at the end. So I should have done the cardboard across the belly just like I did with this chest. I'm very happy with the chest and the thighs that I did. So here is the way I was saying not to do it, just taping right across. I would do it just like I did with the chest and not this way, because it was harder to put the stuff on over. But, if you're not going to really care too much and you want to go fast like I did, I don't even think it's that much faster. Just do as I say and get the cardboard and put that across. Also, I needed to give it a little stomach. Right there where the ribs stop, that's where the spine detaches to put it away. And I made the decision to permanently keep them attached on this section just so that I could easily give it a stomach. And I'm using the duct tape to give it a real secure spot to wrap around. But keep in mind that you can't put paper mache paste over duct tape because it's like plastic, shiny, it doesn't stick. You're going to have to put the masking tape on over it again. I was just doing the duct tape to give something that was really, really secure. And maybe I should have done wire. I don't even remember what I did on epbot. I didn't follow the directions that she had very well. I just kind of read through it and then kind of went my way because that's my way of doing things. But maybe I should have read hers a little carefully. I don't know how she did her stomach. But maybe you could get a bigger piece of cardboard and wrap it around. And I forgot to record the whole way I did the thigh, but I shaped it with like 3 different pieces of cardboard to give it the right shape for the thigh. It's not much of a thigh, but it's not just plain. And I stopped the thigh where the leg detaches from the horse because I'm not going to do anything on the bottom of that, just painted later. So you can detach it and put it away later after Halloween or whatever you're using it for is over, and it's for easy storage. So I just did the thigh down to that detachable area. So just shaping a little bit more with the duct tape. You could do the shaping with the masking tape too, and then you won't have to remask it. Oh, this is where I did the butt, and I don't even know what a thestral butt looks like. I don't think there's any pictures of what the butt looks like, but obviously a horse's butt's nice and round and muscular. This is just flat across, and I don't really like the way that I made it flat across. I wish I kind of rounded it a little bit, because even though they're super skeletal, skinny creatures, they've got some muscle because they're strong creatures too. So I wish I would have rounded his butt a little bit with the cardboard, but I just did it straight across. But at least I did the cardboard this time because this part was so much easier to do the clay later than it was underneath on the stomach. So do the cardboard. Here's a quick little walk around of what it looked like after I had everything taped. Again, kind of a square butt, not the best. But he's got a thigh, he's got a stomach, his ribs are covered in a fleshy skin. I hadn't covered the duct tape at that point with the masking tape, but don't forget to do that. It won't stick to the plastic. You got to have that masking tape. So on epbot, before they put the paper mache clay on, they did actual paper mache, the old-fashioned method with the strips and the glue. And I started doing that, and it was a complete mess. For one, when you put the horse on its side, it kind of de-shapes itself, so you have to keep him standing up, and doing it from the bottom was a mess. So I completely skipped it, but you might want to do that to get it a little bit more stiff, especially if you just did the taping method without the cardboard. Also here, these T's, you see where it says T and there's a hole there? That's where you can stick in your thing to detach the legs. So make sure that when you do all of this, you keep those holes accessible so that you can store it more easily. I've just got the body all one piece, and that's the only part that I'm really doing stuff on at this point. I'm not going to do anything to the legs, just the body, the neck, and the head, and then the legs I'll just spray paint, even though they do have kind of claws instead of hooves. Hoof claws. I don't know. But what I'm putting on here is called paper mache clay, and instead of buying the very expensive kind that you get at the craft store, which I do like that, and it's just kind of add water instant clay. I like that stuff, but it's insanely expensive. So if you go to ultimatepapermache.com, she has a great recipe for paper mache clay, and it's using drywall joint compound, flour, Elmer's glue, and a little bit of baby oil. What else? I think that's about it. It's really easy to make, and it's not as easy to put on, but she's got some great videos on how to put on it, how to work with that stuff, and I would watch her videos too if you go with this method. And because they are super, she's really informative, and the comments on her videos are really great. And her whole site is just really cool. She also has like an air dry clay, which is basically just paper mache clay stuff, but instead of it being like a pasty stuff like this, it's a lot thicker. I might use that on the face. I'm not sure yet, but that'll be in part 2. And so you'll see. But I might use that. I might just use some stuff that I have bought already. But here I'm putting it on with gloves, but you don't have to use gloves. You put this stuff on like frosting, basically. Toilet paper. I forgot to say, to make it paper mache clay, of course it's got to have paper in it. So the toilet paper is what is in it that keeps it really strong. If you just had the other stuff, it would crack easier. The toilet paper gives it its strength. So there is toilet paper in this clay. Pardon me, I have a cold. And it is kind of hard to get on smoothly compared to some other stuff, but it's so cheap, and it dries so hard, and you can sand it down. So I really like that about it. And I wanted to give the spine a lot more of a skin being draped over it. Maybe I should have taped that first, because I've got the clay really thick along that spine. I do want to point out on the joint compound, don't use DAP brand. She'll tell you that on her site too. And 2, don't get flexible. Do not get a flexible joint compound, because it's not the right stuff. You want it to dry hard, so don't get the flexible. I did that and messed up at first, and so I had to redo some of it on the other side. I didn't even record me doing it with that one, but it felt the same, but it didn't dry the same. Big mistake. Don't get the flexible kind or DAP. Just get the cheap kind from Walmart. I put it on really roughly with my gloves, and then slip off my gloves inside out. Just toss them on the floor. Make sure your floor is covered, because this stuff can get messy. And I've got a spray bottle with me. It's so nice to just get it soaking wet, and then you can smooth it over with your hands or a spoon. I would suggest a spoon if you're not adventurous in getting messy, because it does get quite messy. But that layer of water on top makes it slippery. And if you're good at frosting a cake, you will be good at this. I am terrible with frosting, but I made it work, and we're making it happen. So if you don't have a spray bottle, or if you'd rather just dip your spoon, you can do that. I've done it both ways. I like the spray bottle. But you want to keep that spoon, or your hands, if you're using hands, you want to keep it wet on the surface, so that you've got that slippery, so that it doesn't get sticky like glue. Imagine like a layer of water over the glue, and it just kind of slips over. Or I think you could, with the regular paper mache clay, I've used soapy hands, like dish soap. I don't know if that works for this, but just the water seems to work pretty well. I didn't want to screw it up by using dish soap, but it probably would be fine to just use dish soapy water to smooth it over. or keep a bottle to keep dipping that spoon in and smooth it over. You probably want to go over this a couple times to get it as smooth as you can. The smoother you get it while it's wet, the less you will have to go back and sand later. So that's the process with that. You want to make sure you keep the rib pattern going. You don't just cover up the ribs and not see the ribs anymore. You could even, and I didn't, but you could even keep the ribs going through the stomach area. I've seen some portrayals of the thestrals had ribs like all across, but I just thought it was better just to have it a skinny, no rib area, and easier too. Maybe I'll add a couple more ribs or something with clay later, I don't know. Anyway, this is getting boring. Let's go to the next part, right? So here's the finished body with all the clay on it. You can see some spots are kind of rough. I didn't smooth it completely, but we can sand that later. It kind of got that flat butt there. You can see the flat butt. That tail is removable. I'm going to make a longer tail. We're going to work on the head later. So keep tuned for the second part of this video. I do want to show you here though on the ribs. The ribs were really thin, so they dried really well. They're like rock solid. Up there on the spine, underneath, sorry, I forgot that I showed underneath first. This is kind of rough and it doesn't really matter. No, it's going to be sitting underneath. Up there on the spine though, it's really thick. It's going to take a few days for me to let it dry because I didn't tape it off first. I just went ahead and made it super thick. That's like an inch thick of the clay, and that stuff takes forever to dry when it's that thick. So I'm going to have to let it dry for a long time. But stick with me and we are going to do the next video and get this thing done before Halloween. I hope that you guys are inspired to get started too. And let me know how it goes. Bye.